real. Corshell Jenkins was charged with a crime she did not commit. Now there's the warrant for her arrest. May 2025, 36-year-old Portland resident received a letter saying she had been arrested for theft. After failing to appear in court, police were instructed to take her to jail. Mother of 6 was stunned. She'd never been arrested for stealing. She assumed a visit to court would prove it was just a case of mistaken identity. Guardian with the reporting details on this. But in court, a judge told her the state had no lawyers available to represent her. She would have to keep returning for appearances until one freed up. That day, roughly 1,280 other defendants in her county were also waiting for attorneys. Some had gone months or more than a year without representation. The charges would remain pending. Jenkins had no way to fight them. Really makes you angry. This wasn't me. I didn't do it, said Jenkins, but all I could do was just wait for an attorney. After receiving a warrant last spring, Jenkins learned the district attorney of Multnomah County had charged her with an August 2023 theft. Police reports said she had shoplifted pink boots from a Nordstrom outlet and was detained and cited by police. I was worried about getting pulled over and arrested with my kids in the car, said Jenkins, Portland native who works at a senior living facility administering medications. Jenkins was also at her job at the time of the theft. She had never been arrested in her life, let alone charged with a crime. Jenkins took off work for her arraignment, a proceeding in which defendants are formally charged, traditionally appointed a public defender if they cannot pay for their own lawyer. After waiting 90 minutes to be called, she tried to explain the mix-up, but she couldn't make formal arguments because she had no lawyer. I used all the attorneys I had for the afternoon, the judge told Jenkins, according to audio from her hearing. The judge placed her on the unrepresented list, charging her a $235 fee to get a public defender and barring her from entering Nordstrom. Judge told her to keep returning to court or else the warrant would be reissued. Jenkins is one of thousands of Oregonians charged with crimes who have been forced to wait long terms for a public defender. Lawyers, the state is constitutionally mandated to provide to defendants if they cannot pay for their own attorney. The shortage has pushed the legal system to the brink. Some people with outstanding charges, no representation, have lost jobs, housing, custody of their children. Some have suffered health crises like relapses, miscarriages in the process, the Guardian found. The system was further strained by an exodus of public defenders, a surge in prosecutions for minor drug offenses, and a rise in cases involving body cam footage, other digital evidence, which often require time-consuming reviews by attorneys and their staff. In a sign of the magnitude of the crisis, the Oregon Supreme Court ruled in February that the state must dismiss all charges for people who have waited 90 days or more for a lawyer in felony cases and 60 days in misdemeanor cases. The ruling called for more than 1,400 pending cases to be dropped. But the problem remains. For many defendants in the state, their problems are not over. People who saw their cases dismissed because of the Supreme Court decision could be charged again for the same offense. They may only learn of the fresh prosecution when a police officer arrests them on a warrant, sends them to jail. And people newly entering the court system are still facing long delays in getting attorneys due to the shortage, with roughly 1,180 defendants statewide currently waiting for lawyers. So this is not a justice system. This is like some kind of factory. This is a factory, an assembly line. This is a money-making machine that probably is like on this hamster wheel of like funding, spend. Who cares who gets wrapped up in it? Why any judge? Why would have to go to a Supreme Court? Why any judge who was seeing these cases in real time and people without lawyers wouldn't just say, well, I'm dismissing it with prejudice. This is your constitutionally protected right. We have gotten to a time wide open, big billboards announcing it, where due process doesn't mean a damn thing. Constitutional rights doesn't mean a damn And yes, it's as if, well, the system has to keep going on, whether your rights are violated or not. This is just what we're doing. What say you?
Yeah, what we're seeing is the entire system. It no longer works for the people anymore, right? The circumstances have changed. We're having a lot more cases that need to get through the system, and the system as it exists right now is not equipped to handle the magnitude of the cases. Not in any kind of real way, at least, that gives people real autonomy over the process and any kind of accurate representation in their own cases. So this is a huge problem. We're also seeing a lot of times, like we always hear